Hi, I'm Ray Grijalva,
And I'm Anne-Marie Grijalva.
And I'm Sirena.
and this is The
Joy of the Faith.
In this spotlight episode, we have Sirena
Woo!
on her last night here before she goes back to Guam,
What?
I know.
right?
Yeah.
So we're here to ask our typical 3 questions, and this is going to be super interesting because there's something very unique about our meeting, which I'm excited for Sirena to say. So,
Yeah.
first
Yes.
question is, how did we meet?
Well, it's funny because I knew about you guys before I even met you.
Isn't that creepy?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And I was
Yeah.
already fans of you guys before I met you guys. So yeah, it was David Castillo. He told me about ID 916. He was mentioning it to me because I was new to Kentucky.
I went to Mass at the Demon Center on like a Thursday night, and
Yeah.
I saw you, and I didn't know you, so I went up to say hi to you,
And then I
and you go, Ray, and I was like, what? How did you know me?
yeah, that was funny.
That was
Yeah.
the first time that's ever happened in my
That
life.
was pretty cool.
So that was
Yeah.
quite memorable.
That is so cool. 'Cause I was like, my husband can't wait to meet you.
Yeah. And I was like, I already know who he is. Like,
So, look, Joy of the Faith already making us
There it
famous,
is.
right?
right?
So, Emery, you want to ask our number 2 question?
Sure. What have you learned from us or from Joy of the Faith?
I'm just gonna keep it real simple, but I think the one thing that everybody can get from Anne and Ray, you can see it in both of them as a couple, and then when they talk to you as a friend, you just feel like you could feel happiness and peace and love radiating from them and from their marriage, and like I already immediately felt that, and that's what I love about them, and I'm like big fans of Ray and Anne, so I'm a
Number
fan.
one cheerleader.
Fangirl. So,
Fangirl.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We love our fangirls.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
We like our fanboys too,
Yeah.
so come on, guys.
That's hilarious.
Come on,
And then-
guys.
Exactly, thanks. Maybe you can bring us to Guam, right?
Right?
That's
Exactly.
great.
Yeah.
So our final question is, what do you want people to know?
At least from what I've learned in Kentucky and through the Catholic community here, and then with my personal faith journey here in Kentucky, I think the biggest thing I've learned is to trust in God and His mercy, because coming here was in and of itself like a blessing. I was going through a lot back home through just my relationships, through my faith and everything, and all I did was say a prayer to God about like giving me a second chance to restart my life and my faith life especially, and He brought me to Kentucky, and then He had me meet all these beautiful people, and my faith life is definitely not perfect, and who is? What I've learned now that I'm leaving Kentucky for a while, and it's really heartbreaking because, oh my gosh, I don't want to cry, but it's really heartbreaking because Kentucky will always be like my second home, I believe. Like the home where I actually like started to understand and mature in my faith. I think that's the biggest part. What I want people to know is to always trust in God's mercy. That's what I'm going out of Kentucky with right now, going back home to Guam, and then I'll be going to boot camp. To always trust in God's mercy. Many times I've felt the temptation to not trust, and that's always been my biggest problem. And I think that's the world's problem now, is trusting in God's mercy, and it hurts Him more that you don't trust in Him than even like any other sin. I think I read that it hurts Him more when you don't trust Him than any other bad thing He can do. If you don't trust Him, and if you don't trust in His mercy and His forgiveness, that tears Him apart. It hurts Him. So I want people to know that, and I don't even know how I'm like gonna manifest that in my life. I think
But you've
that's
already
the
done
most I
it.
can do right now.
I think about the examples of when
Yeah.
you moved here and you didn't have housing or just share that.
Yeah,
with
okay,
me.
yeah. So, actually, that's perfect. Thank you. Because I was at a point in the first 3 months here where I knew that I needed to find a new place to live. I was living with a family that I was caregiving for, but I felt like it was time for me to go, but I didn't know how it's going to happen. I prayed a novena to Saint Philomena, and by the way, I highly recommend, if you want anything, pray to Saint Philomena, actually, because she's a powerful saint. But I prayed a novena to her on the 9th day. I went to the Latin Mass at St. Peter's. I met a lady there, and she just asked me about who I was, and then I was like, oh, I just moved here. I'm a caregiver. That's all I said, and then she said to me, I keep a house here. You can stay in it.
Wow.
Like
Isn't that
nothing,
amazing?
like no
That's
background checks, nothing. She was just like, you can stay in my house. That was one of the first biggest signs of that coming here was something that God was showing me and teaching me. Like there was just several other things, but that was that was like one of the biggest.
When I first met Sirena,
things.
that was one of the things she shared with me, and I was just like, oh man, I need faith like Sirena.
Yeah.
And just trust.
I know, it's crazy because I'm like I don't even, I feel like I'm like the worst person at that, but God's mercy is fulfilled in weakness, in the complete weakness and complete. So He will, like, yes, in your life, He might tear you down. He might just completely bring you to like rock bottom in order to just show you that. And you will get to a point where it could be the brink of despair. Like it could be like that ultimate test, like kind of like Job, where everything was taken away from Job. And I was kind of at that point with the housing situation. And I was like, I don't even know, but I'm just going to pray this novena and see what happens. And trust me, it wasn't easy though. I was like crying a lot. I was going through a lot. And but
God came through, right?
But as long as you keep that little strand of hope, like I don't really, even through my situation, and I'm still so imperfect, but yet just by
Sirena
the fact
has a flight tomorrow at 7 a.m. and we've been wanting to get her on Spotlight, and this is her first time visiting us at our home.
And I'm leaving.
So we saw her yesterday. We thought it was her final goodbye, and Ray's like, "We need you on Spotlight. Can you come over tomorrow?"
It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, so we're so happy.
Thanks to Shelby, our
Sirena.
number one.
Thanks to Shelby.
Our friends here, Shelby. She'll be on
she's-
Spotlight soon.
She's also a fangirl.
She's a fangirl.
Well, Sirena, thanks for making the sacrifice to be here and sharing with everyone.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you guys for everything. You guys are definitely like a big part of me just growing in my faith and such an inspiration and
Praise God.
light. So,
That's what we're supposed to be, right?
Yeah,
The light that
exactly.
shines the darkness.
Exactly.
Well,
So,
keep that bright light in Guam, right?
yes, definitely. This is a great send-off.
I know.
Aw,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed it
Yes.
and have an incredible day. God love you.